Is the Wild West dying? A lot of players have been asking this question recently, and today I'm going to give my point of view on the situation. So let me give you a quick overview as to why players are asking this question. Ever since the Wild West 2021 Christmas update, the player count has been slowly decreasing. This chart is not official at all. It is merely a visual aid to show the slow decline of players throughout 2022. Now, is this the primary reason many players are leaving? A lack of updates? As I said, many people blame the drop in player count on Starboard Studios' infrequent updates. The game typically gets at least 2 seasonal updates every year, which brings in about 4,000 players looking for new content. This trend has been occurring since 2020, but in 2022 there was an absence of a holiday update, which resulted in a massive riot in the Starboard Studios Discord server. At face value, yes, the lack of updates is dragging down the Wild West and causing the player count to drop. The cause and effect relationship obviously shows that every time an update is released, the player count increases drastically. Meaning that the more the game updates, the higher the player count will be. It's simple. But that's where everyone is wrong. With the 3 updates that happened this year, wouldn't you think the player count would stay steady? Something like this? You would think that every holiday update makes the game better, and these holiday updates are just bringing in more players. How can a game with these amazing graphics, pristine soundtrack, fun gameplay, and interesting theme keep losing players? Within that question is the real reason why the Wild West is dying. The Wild West's glaring problem is that it has no backbone. If you don't know what I mean, let me explain. Basically, players keep asking for new updates, for new content, as that's the only way the game is a game. As a new player to the Wild West, you are starstruck. You find this gem of a game. It has an amazing theme, mesmerizing scenery, and new gameplay. But once you play for more time, the game starts to get boring. All you do is mine or grind for cash to purchase these auction guns everyone says are amazing. Once you've acquired all of these auction items, there's really not much left to do in the game. And that's what I mean by the game has no backbone. You progress until you can progress no more, then you leave. That's why so many people play during the holiday updates, because it offers something new, something exciting to defeat. But once that update has vanished, you're basically left where you started, bored and uninterested. One example that I explain to people quite often is the Minecraft comparison. Minecraft is nothing like the Wild West, but it's just a strong comparison that really highlights what I mean. Minecraft is made up by 2 components, mining and crafting, as implied by the name. The 2 components work hand in hand, mining up materials to go craft items and progress the game. The game is perfect. You can really personalize your experience, and no one can take that away from you. There's really no finish line. There's no typical end to the game. But when we look at the Wild West, something is apparent. We still have that mining feature where players must put in the hard work to gain what they need, but we don't have the crafting portion. It would be like if Minecraft, once you beat the Ender Dragon, the game was over. You couldn't continue customizing your house, customizing your experience, you couldn't fight the Wither, nothing. You had achieved all you had to achieve, and that's the game. But this beckons another question. What can Starboard Studios do to keep the Wild West alive? We have seen multiple sneak peeks as to what Starboard Studios may be planning for the Wild West. One of these things is progression, where you level up certain skills to achieve a higher level and a reward. This is what many players say is the answer to the Wild West's current problem. People will continue playing the game to achieve those new weapons, levels, thus far saving the player count. But is this really the answer? Don't get me wrong, I love the idea of progression. The skills you need to level up will definitely bring more attention to the game, and make it more enjoyable. But, how long will that really last? Think about the auction house. Great idea. Players bid on items that they need to work harder for, thereby granting them these insane weapons. And we see now how that unfolded. At the start, it was amazing. The player count spiked. People played the game for much more time, and everyone loved it, until people got what they were working for, used the items, and then vanished to other games. But why? Because there was nothing else to do in the game. In a time period that was basically limitless, people are limited. I feel that the same thing will happen with the progression update. New gun, people work for new gun, people get new gun, people use new gun, people leave, because there's nothing else to do in the game. You've reached what your goal was, and then it's just the same old content over and over again. There's nothing new to do. And that's why I think that the building update may be the Wild West's last chance at survival. Offering players with some wood and a hammer, we can go to town, building whatever our hearts desire. Want to build a motel for friends to house? Heck, go ahead. Want to build a restaurant where people can get food? Go ahead. Want to build a hunting shack where you can safely store your items? I think you get my point. People will work for the items needed to build, but after that, they can basically do whatever they want. It's opening up a portal to new stories, to advance the progression. Have fun. There are many more underlying problems with the Wild West currently that I haven't talked about. Please comment down below what you think might help the Wild West crawl back to this trend. I'm sure I'll make more videos addressing the problems in the Wild West, as, again, even for content creators, there's nothing really to make content on. There is no new content in the game, so therefore, we cannot make new videos. I just want to say that I mean no hate towards the devs and Starboard Studios. As a whole, I love you guys. You're the reason that I can make these amazing videos that I love to make. I love you all. If you did enjoy the video, or find it helpful at all, please consider subscribing to my channel. It would really mean a lot to me. See ya.